brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the cabin.
Ah, the smell of a breakfast penalty first thing in the week. Isn't that delicious for everybody? Hello, everyone. It's Ollie, Lecter, suspiciously not Wheeler. 7 o'clock and 48 seconds, well over the deadline. Morning.
Oh, my mouth is watering.
Oh, what an exciting time to be us.
Very exciting. Yeah.
Minus 15 outside, minus 21 inside the studio this morning. Little frosty. We're just busy burning Studio 2 for firewood.
Yeah. It's, we were in here over the weekend a bit. I think you were mostly in the office, so you maybe didn't notice. I was recording a new episode of Northeast.
Ooh.
Which is very exciting.
Is that for tonight?
No, not for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta pretty it up a little bit.
Okay.
A couple more from the vault, and then you'll hear that one.
It's exciting.
But, Jimmy was considering burning that chair over there.
Yeah, which would be the second time an office chair that I've only just built has come to grief.
I was tempted to encourage him. I was cold myself.
Yeah, it is quite cold. At the back, I can tell you, it was toasty and warm. So,
yeah.
you know.
Oh,
I do feel sorry.
Good.
I do feel sorry for you. Essentially, stranded out here in Hoth, in the outpost. Yeah, while the rest of us are sort of toasty and warm over at, I don't know, what's a warm place? Tatooine.
Without even any beasts to climb inside.
No, right? We don't have to climb inside anyone. Yeah,
Jeez,
great.
Yeah,
we just, but now you're out here all alone all day long, fending for yourself in this world of radio while we do news over there. How's it going, bud? You're not lonely?
It's kind of nice, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds weird to say, but it reminds me of lockdown. But I had the whole studio to myself.
Happy halcyon days of lockdown. Well, if you're in Fort Liard this morning, didn't that just sound pretty ridiculous? Morning!
Mornings at the cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the cabin. It is 7:14 on your Monday morning, January the 18th, in case you were wondering, which I do believe qualifies us as a Blue Monday. But that's a load of nonsense, so we won't dwell on that any further. You're aware of Blue Monday, huh?
You know what? I think I was, and then I think I forgot about it, and now I'm sad again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's supposed to be like the most depressing day of the year. But when they initially did that research, I think that's like 10 or 15 years old now, they hadn't really factored in 2020. And
they thought we'd be, done by now, burned up.
Yeah. I feel as though nobody, when they did the initial research into, this must be the most depressing day of the year because it's so far after Christmas and there's not much else on the horizon and it's cold and people are miserable.
Yeah.
But did you see the days before Christmas? They weren't great. A lot of people were not having that much fun. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think most people are waking up this morning and thinking, I feel noticeably worse than I did previously. You'd be amazed. I feel like we've plateaued. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're getting vaccines into people's arms. Might have been a little busier weekend than I would have liked, COVID-wise.
We've had Pandemic Monday for 8 months now.
Oh, definitely had Pandemic weekend. That was a busy one this weekend.
Another pandemic weekend.
Yeah. Quite a lot going on. Fort Liard, 3 cases as of right now. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm pretty convinced that number may tick up a little bit in the next few days. But they've put a whole bunch of things in place. You'll hear in the news in a little bit. There's a containment order there now, which is the first one we've seen.
Right.
Which means no gatherings, any shape or form, for 2 weeks. And most businesses are closed. Not that many businesses in the first place, but basically all the ones that are non-essential are closed in Fort Liard. School's closed now as well.
Right.
So everybody home and a rapid response team on the ground trying to get the word out, trying to look after people. Vaccination's still going ahead at Fort Liard on Thursday.
Yeah.
So get a shot into as many people as they can.
So go from there. Is this different from when Yellowknife had its first case and we went into lockdown? Is this different than that, really?
It is in as much as, I'm trying to think, you know what, I can't even remember what the rules were in March last year.
I think it was basically you couldn't see anyone. You had to, stay 6 feet apart from everybody.
They're essentially saying this is the first time, thinking back to it, why does it feel like a lifetime ago?
It feels like 10 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly feel as though I've got a better shot at remembering high school that I have at remembering what was happening in March last year.
Because you wanted to, keep some of those memories.
Yeah.
Well, most high school.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
There were highs and lows.
It's
the highs
50,
and lows.
50. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some parts of high school that I think probably rank below the pandemic.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
The isolation, probably.
I think this is the first time that this has been focused on a specific community in this way. Because as I recall, when the first case arrived, the whole territory.
Right.
Because we didn't know the extent that the spread was going to be.
Right.
And everybody shut down everywhere and did so until we got the recovery plan out and we went into phase 1 of emerging wisely.
Right.
This is the first time that I think a specific community has been told, right, you guys, back in your homes.
Right.
Give it a couple weeks.
Pretend there's a wall.
Pretend there's a wall. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, stick a sign outside the community. And I have been enjoying efforts at sign writing in the past few days. We've seen a few examples on the Cabin Radio website of no visitors, full-on zombie apocalypse, no visitors welcome signs that have been spouting up. Because, believe me, I could do no better.
Right.
If you gave me a pallet or two with some wood over the top of it and a bucket of paint and a brush and said, craft an unthreatening sign, I think I would fail in exactly the same way.
Yeah.
The no visitor signs are just full, Silent Hill.
Right.
It's all coming home to roost kind of signs that if you were driving, the Liard Highway at the best of times on a foggy winter morning is terrifying.
Right.
Because it's isolated. It's in the middle of such a remote part of the country. There's no traffic on it. It's not, let's be honest, the world's greatest highway in the first place in terms of construction and width of vehicle. Speaking of someone who's fallen off this highway before, so I've got a grudge against it. And you're driving along it, and you already feel a little bit of a chill up the spine of, I could really come to grief here.
Right.
If something were to break down in the middle of this very, very sparsely populated area of the world. And now you're going to come across, in the middle of all of this, the only community for hundreds of kilometers in any direction, and a sign will greet you that has been painted in black paint on the wood. No visitors. And I think it's quite polite. I think it basically says, what's the effect of no visitors for the time being, thanks.
Right.
But just the way the
smiley
way...
face?
Yeah, the way you happen to... I feel like a smiley face would only make it worse for me.
Of course, the paint in the eye would drip down. And just,
is it crying? Is that blood?
No visitors.
Oh my goodness!
Just a very simple go away. I think gets the message.
Saves
across,
on paint,
right?
which is environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait, why stop there? Just go.
That's right.
Just go in big letters.
You can, if you really want, you can put a smiley face inside the O.
Okay, and at that point, we now have reached peak terror.
Go away, smile.
Like I said, just lose the word away. Just put go. Smiley face inside the O.
Go. Bye.
Yeah, and that conveys very succinctly what they'd quite like you to do, and you will carry on up Highway 7 at 300 kilometers an hour, afraid for your life. Mornings at the Cabin will return.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey. It was early. What do you want from us?
Oh, it's almost February already. 2021 is just flying by, and that's exciting because basically as soon as we get out of the 2020s, we're going to be all right. Yeah, I think people mistakenly thought it was just the 1 year that was going to be unfortunate.
Right.
And it now turns out it is in fact the decade.
Yeah.
So we've just got to hang on in there till 2030 and we're going to be all right.
It's not quite as comforting as your messaging back in March and April for COVID Corner was. That was very optimistic.
Yeah. You
put an optimistic tone on it, but...
No, I put an optimistic spin on what was on the face of it quite bad news, which is all I'm doing now. It's just that the bad news is significantly longer and the optimism is significantly more strained. But it's still happening. Don't worry, by the 2050s, this will all be fine.
Yeah.
Happy voice. End on a high. A high note. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I feel better already.
Oh, you see, I thought about bringing COVID Corner back yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was starting to feel like, people in Yellowknife are all, there's a mystery case in Yellowknife and I just don't know if it's okay to go outside anymore.
Right.
People in Hay River are like, every time I look at sewage, I'm reminded of COVID-19 because it's floating around in there and oh my goodness, we just don't know how. People in Fort Liard are like, you've got it and I'm just going to stay in here. Like, all right, we might be reaching a certain threshold.
Yeah.
For a reappearance of exactly what you just described. The calm and soothing optimism that comes with a man quietly but confidently telling you that the world is going to hell.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, and followed by The distracting puppies and kittens.
The puppies and kittens.
Yes.
Which yes, was very evidently a ploy, but seemed to work all the same. Well, because you just didn't want to end on a low.
No,
right?
exactly.
The whole point of the puppies and kittens at the end of COVID Corner was that if you were going to spend 20 minutes telling people all the things that had closed, all the different, like, the numbers from across Canada, across the world, the cases here, the border closure, everything, you're going to spend 20 minutes doing that. You can't just then be like, have a lovely evening, good night.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to have a lovely evening because
No.
you've just given them reasons to be concerned.
Yeah.
So it was a very conscious decision that, well, we're going to have to end on something positive, so why don't we get people to send in photos of their pets? And then you have, like, yeah, all right, here's all the bad news from today. And then in other news, here's Floofy Daniel, the Border Collie, doing a funny thing on the ice.
You also don't have to pretend that it wasn't at least a little bit self-serving. Like, you're delivering all that doom and gloom for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like, it's tough enough to hear it. But to be the bearer of bad news, you are taking on an extra burden.
Well, it's like the Santa Claus parade all over again.
It's like,
yeah,
that's right.
Right? Being the bearer of that bad news, that was a burden, all right. Oh, getting that message coming. That parade's closing at 7.
That was the worst moment of cabin radio since COVID Corner.
700 kids in line. Hi, everybody. Just heard from the city. Please put all your weapons down and listen to the rest of this broadcast.
But we've had lots and lots and lots.
Here's more Christmas music. More Christmas music. AJ, lock the door. Lock the door.
You all back there, like 56 cars back in line. Can you just imagine how much fun those kids had up at the Santa Claus
Look
parade?
at their smiling faces as they drive back past you. Now just channel some of that.
Now, as you return home, give all the people in line the highlights. What was your favorite float? This is on you.
Oh, memories. Yeah, you see? So yeah, why did I not think of puppies and kittens then? Hello, everyone, it's 7:03 on Christmas Parade Day, and now the sound of kittens just purring into a microphone. Are we good? Are we good now?
Jingle Cats, that's all we needed.
My favorite, the cat. Oh, do I even know how to find that and quickly play it? Do I know how to find that and quickly play it? There is the absolute perfect track for that. I don't know if... hold on. Everybody, talk among yourselves. Oh, it's one of these.
It's a little tough in the Christmas category because you set the font as a blinding green.
It is quite green, isn't it? I regret that now, don't I?
It stands out, but you just can't read any of it.
It does.
It burns your retinas.
Yeah, that's true. Disappointingly, I can't immediately find this delightful. There is a version of Carol of the Bells that is just sung in meows.
Oh, dear God.
And I love it. It's my favorite thing.
I don't think we had that one in the rotation.
No, I don't think we did either. All right, well, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to play you some boring, normal music.
All right.
Then I'm going to play you some boring, normal news. There won't even be any puppies and kittens at the end of the news. But then I'm going to find it, and we're going to have Carol of the Bells in meowing to lift your Monday up. Yeah.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
You know the days when it never rains, but it pours? So the entire desk has just collapsed on me with like 8 seconds of that song left. And I'm now holding a piece of wood in my hands with a laptop and a mouse balanced on it. This morning's show has been a gong show, everybody.
And it's brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north.
Driving the north. Yeah, I knew there was something else. Yeah, them. Thanks to them as well. This is, we were holding it together.
We were.
Now I'm literally holding it together, which is a little more unfortunate. The keyboard is gone, so we can forget about the keyboard. If I need to write anything live on the air in the next 5 minutes, that's not happening.
It's been a Monday so far.
It has been a Monday. Wheeler, where are you? Why can't you be having this Monday? This was all perfectly set up for you. You do so well under pressure. In the meantime, hi, AJ. I broke the desk. It's all right, though. I caught it. I put it back. Look. Thanks for coming in to inspect wordlessly. Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's like there was like a dog whistle as soon as that.
Did he come from the back? Yeah. Wow, he just heard in the distance. Oh, that sounds like Ollie destroying a piece of equipment. Huck.
Distress in Studio 1.
That is the first time a piece of furniture has collapsed on me and in the act of going to air. Great.
That's not the first time I've seen it happen. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I've been a part of it.
We were previously in the act of building up to playing a Christmas carol composed entirely of meowing. Now, if you're just joining us, that may seem slightly out of place, it being January the 18th. Although, it's still like the Christmas tree only came down on Sunday.
It didn't get crushed under the collapse of the keyboard tray?
No, we're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. So this was all to do with, we were talking about how to lift people's spirits at the end of delivering bad news.
Yes.
So, COVID Corner last year, all the COVID stuff, followed by Puppies and Kittens. Santa Claus Parade, when it closed at 7 and half of Yellowknife lost its mind, arguably should have gone for the same thing and combined Christmas with the idea of Puppies and Kittens, which would have given you this amazing minute and 23 seconds.
Meow, 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 meow,
right?
It's not actual cats.
No, it's not actual cats.
Jingle Cats is actual cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
It just makes
listen to the harmonies.
It just makes me feel uncomfortable because it's not actual cats.
I mean, you don't know it's not actual cats.
I'm pretty sure.
They could be very well trained.
Cats that learned to speak English and then just
listen to that bass. Meow.
Took up their original tongue again.
It's more than halfway through now. You're fine. Meow, 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 meow.
So uncomfortable.
Listen to the increasing urgency.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it's increasing some people's urgency.
Only 25 seconds left.
Close app. Close, damn you.
One more time. Yeah, doesn't that lift the spirits?
You know, it's the one thing that's probably worse than the new Cats movie.
Hey. Hey.
Because that's not actual cats either, Ollie. I don't know if you knew that.
That's been on my top songs playlist on Spotify for a decade.
Really?
Yeah. It never fails to lift me.
Okay.
It lifts my little soul.
All right.
I'm all in favor.
Okay.
All in favor of that.
Well, considering you're the one still balancing a keyboard tray on your lap.
Oh, it's all right. I've put it back.
Oh, you got it back in
there? Yeah, I got it back in there.
Oh, well done.
The keyboard is gone. Yeah. The keyboard is gone. So there's absolutely nothing else I can do at this point other than just sit here and talk and move a mouse around. I bought a mouse on Saturday morning, and I think
a computer mouse?
A computer mouse. Okay. I think it might be the first time in my life that I have bought for personal use a computer mouse.
Oh.
Because I've always used laptops, and I've always shunned this sort of relic of the 1980s. I don't know why I'm holding it up. I mean, I do well just leaving well alone today and just not touch anything. But anyway, I found myself in the mouse aisle, and this is like 9:15 on a Saturday morning. I'd skulked into Staples, thinking, I'll get away with this. There'll be nobody else in there.
Right.
11 seconds after beginning to study computer mice.
Uh-oh.
Someone I know very well walks down the same aisle. It's like, oh, hey, Ollie, are you shopping for mice? All right. Can we not draw attention? Like, nobody who considers themselves at all technologically literate should be seen shopping for a mouse.
Right.
It just seems like, I don't know.
I mean, they're handy, especially if you're doing like kind of, stuff that, I don't know, like requires detail, like, I don't know.
Well, this is for video editing, and I was just getting bored of like constantly having to scroll through video timelines by just swiping a finger across a trackpad. I was like, this would be way easier with a mouse.
Totally.
But it feels like shopping for a floppy disk. It feels like going to Staples and being like, I'm looking for your zip drives.
Yeah.
And be like, well, they went out of fashion 20 years ago, and were only in fashion for 7 months.
Right. Where's your CD section?
Yeah.
I need to purchase some software, please.
Where are your mini discs?
Yeah.
Remember were mini discs much of a thing over here?
Not for long.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a very brief heyday.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that mini disc exists is that in college, in broadcast college, we had a mini disc player. I had never heard of it before that.
And that's it. In broadcasting, they seem to have a bit of a longer life.
Yeah,
because journalists used them for ages to record interviews.
Right.
Before there was such thing as SD cards and anything else that you could just record audio onto.
Right.
mini disc recorders became a thing for at least 4 or 5 years. Where, journalists would just be slamming in a mini disc and closing it. Oh, this is so much easier than when I used to have to carry around like a tape machine that looked like something had fallen off a movie set. Which is an era that I never had to suffer through.
Yes.
Yeah, there were eras where journalists had to physically cut the tape of their interviews.
I know.
And stitch those together. And again, I had nothing to do with any of that. I mercifully came on the scene when you could just load up a computer program and do that.
Sometimes when I'm editing like a commercial or like an on-air bit for the morning show, I like have moments where I think back to that when, producers literally had to cut and stitch together tape to do anything audio-wise. And I'm just like, thank God.
Yeah.
I am not in that era.
You even begin to imagine.
Oh, so tedious.
The undo button. Which is basically just gluing it back together.
The amount of mistakes I make because I can?
Yeah. What a forgiving world we live in.
Oh, my God.
And that's useful when the furniture is falling down around you. Right, the news is coming up in a minute.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
One break left in the show, and then I'll be glad to see the back of officially the worst morning show of my entire career. Lecter, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. We just we have heard from Mr. Wheeler at this point.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, what do you have to say?
It's just always nice to know he's alive.
Isn't it?
Slept in. And we were remarking on this a little bit earlier that I kind of admire the fact that when he doesn't just kind of sleep in, when he sleeps in and he misses the show, he swings for the fences.
Yeah. He gets well into the 8 o'clock hour. He gets deep enough into the 8 o'clock hour that he knows that it will be pointless us asking him to come in to finish the show.
Yeah.
And then wakes up.
He doesn't just miss his alarm. He blows through that alarm.
No, it's well played. It's well played. He'll be back tomorrow morning, very probably. Also in the studio to fill us in on a new career for Penelope, which is exciting, is Sarah Price. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you with us. So you went kick sledding with Penelope T-Dog, the cabin radio dog, at the weekend.
She has also just disappeared. I am a little concerned that she's eating garbage.
I'll go get her.
Okay. Lecter's going to go and do some penny fishing. And we meanwhile will discuss the fact. I mean, she's already destroyed one set of garbage this morning, hasn't she?
She has.
Yeah. Okay.
She almost. Oh, do I hear him yelling?
I think your dog might be. Oh, here she is skulking back in. Oh, she does look very guilty.
Penelope. See, this is her first choice in her career is dumpster diving.
Okay, but if that fails, it turns out
it will not fail.
Well, no, she is quite good.
Because know what she did fail at? Kick sledding.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So how did it go?
Not well. It was hilarious, but she is not a kick sledding dog. She has no husky in her. She has no inclination to pull anything. She would much rather be pulled.
Where was this? Talk us through what the aim of this game was.
So Kimmick reached out to us, Kimmick Kennels, and was like, hey, do you guys want to come kick sledding? And Penny and I were like, sure. Well, I said sure. Penny was terrified of this whole ordeal. She cowered while they put the harness on her, tried to run away, tried to hide behind me. Then when she got hooked up to the other dog, she was the only dog not howling with excitement. She just sat there and tried to sit on people's laps while all the other dogs were barking and getting ready to run, and she had no idea what was going on.
I mean, this is very much like me on any school trip that involved action sports. I was exactly the same. Or like cross-country running day. There's all the other kids are getting ready on the start line, and I absolutely am howling and cowering and demanding of my mother that we go home. Yeah, so I'm right there with her. I understand.
Action sports?
Yep, I saw some of myself in her.
Well, kick sledding. I mean, we didn't go on any school trips where they harnessed us all to sleds and made us pull people.
Right.
But, school trip equivalents of that where you go and do something active.
I've just never heard that term before.
Okay. Well, I don't know. As opposed to chess.
Right.
An in-action sport.
Right. Yeah.
There was actually a corgi mix that did far better than Penny did.
Okay, that's all. We
got there. Megan and I got there because Megan was filming. I was like, Megan, look, there's a dog that's smaller than Penny. Look how short that dog is. And then that dog blew past us.
Look at that dog pull. Oh, my.
So you harnessed Penny up. Now, at the start, Penny had a companion, right?
Yes. I do not remember that dog's name at the moment, but it was a sled dog. Big husky type mix thing. Quite tall and large for a sled dog, actually. And that dog was ready to run. And at one point, they got into a little altercation because Penny was going real slow and got them all tangled up. So this dog snapped at her. So after that, she ran off the beaten path, off the the flattened trail, and she was like bounding through the snowbank as far away from this other dog as she could be, and she's booking it as fast as she can. And this other dog is like going barely more than a trot. Like he looked like he was going for a little walk. Poor Penelope, poor Penny. Yeah, just full speed ahead through the deep snow, unable to keep up. I was wearing a GoPro.
Oh, this is exciting.
I was wearing a GoPro on my head, and I thought GoPros usually have like a really wide shot. So I was like, we'll see Penny no matter where she is. And you could just kind of like, if she had been running like the other dog had been running, it would have been like perfectly in shot. But instead, you could just kind of like see her ears flapping at the bottom of the screen as she's like in and out of shot. Yeah, it was a bit of an adventure.
Oh.
At one point, she stopped and rolled on the ground for a while. She wanted to sniff every tree that we passed.
Great.
Like stake little trees along the trail so they knew where to plow it, I guess.
She just wanted to enjoy the ride. This dog knew that they were out here to do a job.
Yeah, I've got a lot of sympathy for that other dog.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of sympathy for the sled dog.
I got sympathy for both of them.
But it's just like trying to get a job done. It's like, all right, yeah, we're running a tourist operation here. Here comes another punter. Yeah, all right, like strap me in. Yeah, hard way to earn a living. Put in along, and then meanwhile, this clown next to you with nothing but slack on its harness. This absolute joker of a dog is just gambolling up and down with a gormless look on its face and rolling around in the snow and clattering into you. I too would probably have snapped.
Yeah. At one point it's a 3-kilometer loop that you do, and by about approaching the 1.5 kilometer marker, they were like, "How about do you want to try just Penny?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I was doing all the work. So I gave up and was like running along beside her and just like completely let go of the sled. And you're never supposed to let go of the sled, but I was like, there's no way she's going to get this thing anywhere.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I can grab it if I need to. And I was running as fast, if not faster than her.
So hang on, to be clear, you got off the sled and left her pulling an empty sled, and you ran alongside her as a sled dog coach to encourage her to run.
At one point, I was also holding the rope to help her pull it, and then I let go of that.
So you were actually the sled dog?
Yes.
Okay. That went well.
And then Penny just find her way back?
She was much happier when I was beside her. And she was kind of starting to get it. She was picking it up a little bit more by the end, but by no means is she ever going to be an expert, I don't think.
Okay.
And then finally they were like, maybe with like half a kilometer left, they're like, "Hey, do you want to try like with some actual sled dogs?" So they hooked up, and they're like, "Penny, she'll stay around, right? If she's good off leash." I was like, "Yeah, she's not going to leave my side. She'll be fine."
I kind of picture that scene from The Grinch when, the Grinch has Max tied up to the sled and the sled goes past Max and then he looks underneath and the rope is on top of the sled. I picture that being Penny, then you looking back and her just waving at
Pretty
you.
much. Penny was also wearing a GoPro and there's lots of shots of my butt because she's like running behind us.
I personally would never have drawn that direct comparison between the Grinch and Sarah on the air.
Yeah, so anyways, by the end they were like, "Okay, here's like 2 actual sled dogs. We'll just let Penny go free. See what happens." And then she was mostly running behind us. But by the end, she like caught up to the dogs and she's running along again in the deep snow, looking at them, looking back at me, never looking ahead, never looking about where she's running, which is why she's always tripping when she's running.
So the exciting thing is there's video of this on the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Lots of video.
Perfect.
Yeah, Megan was filming, Penny was filming, I was filming. We've got interviews.
See, there you are.
Hours of footage.
There are your puppies and kittens to end a terrible thing, which is this morning show, which has done me in. And now we're going to have puppies and kittens at the end of it, which is what we've been talking about all show long. Sarah, thank you for coming in and telling us all about that. Keeping an eye on Penny in the background.
It's always nice when it's embarrassing for Penny and not for me.
Yeah, well, Penny doesn't see it that way. Lecter, thank you very much for your company. 90s at 9 is next. Very much looking forward to that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just doing my job, Ollie. Doing my job. And Wheeler, thanks for nothing. All right, see you next time, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.